Hey everyone, welcome back to my new video. Today I'm going to break it down for you in how to choose your college or university. I strongly recommend you to watch till the very end as I'll be going through many important points today. Without further ado, let's get this video started. Now the very first thing you should do is to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. I go through many topics ranging from personal finance all the way to resolving life challenges that many teens, Gen Zs and millennials face all the time. The very first step you should do, and you should do this as soon as possible, is to decide on or have a rough idea on what your college major is going to be. I made a separate video on my top 10 favorite major to choose from for 2020. Feel free to take a look by clicking here. Some majors you see in that video may surprise you. That's because 2020 is an exceptional year and the job market is going to be a little different as well. Alright, so if you have yet to pick your major to pursue, I strongly encourage you to do so soon. But even if you have not, it's not the end of the world. Since this is a life-changing decision, so you don't want to rush it if you just haven't found your calling yet. And the good news is, you can just do a general study for your first year and pick your major for your second year onwards. So you still have a little bit of time. But of course, the sooner you pick your major, the sooner you can plan for your college curriculum. And it will also be better for you to make an informed decision in picking your college. If you are still clueless in what major to study, think about which subject interests you the most in high school, or what do you like to do the most during your free time. Once you have an idea, then explore what kind of majors out there are related to it. You want to start this entire process by having a wide spectrum and narrow it down systematically, which I will guide you through in this video. I want to caution you at this time though, is that choosing the right major is much more important than choosing the right school. Even if you got into your dream school, but you have absolutely no passion towards what you study, then you are just wasting your time. So choose what you like to study first. And here comes the second step, which is also going to be the bulk of this video, and that is to come up with a list of schools that you would like to submit your applications to eventually. At the end of this step, you should have a list of around 10 schools for you to proceed further. This is the most important step and has 3 main considerations, so listen up. The first consideration you should look at is where do you stand academically? How are your school results so far? What results do you think you can achieve from your college entrance exam, the SAT if you're in the United States? Many colleges from many countries do put emphasis on your high school results, so keep that in mind too. And with that, you now have the range of programs from different schools that you're eligible to apply for. The second consideration you need to look at is your financial situation. If you are from a wealthy family that can fully support any program you go to, then great, super easy for you. But if you're considering getting a student loan, then I urge you not to pick a super expensive school to attend, like those in the Ivy League. It is still ultimately what you made out of your time during your study program. And I also want to encourage you to pick a major that will result in getting a high-paying job. Different jobs have different starting salaries, so feel free to click here and check out which majors can land you the highest paying jobs. Now, for a small number of you, if you can secure a scholarship to any programs in any school, then great, go to the Ivy Leagues or any of the global top 30 universities. These are all very expensive schools though, but if your family can help you out or if you can secure a scholarship, then go for it. Having a credential from such prestigious schools will definitely make you stand out from others. But not everybody is that lucky, so it's good to be practical and realistic in choosing a college. The third consideration I want to point out here is the location. And there are many options here, so let's start with the option 1, a college from your home city or your home state or province. Many schools still offer a great discount to students from the same state or province. This option allows you to save the most money, and you are able to be near your family all the time. Either you will be staying with your family throughout, or you will be able to come back home regularly during holidays or long weekends. So I'm 100% confident that your family will love this option the most, not to mention you save lots of money by not having to pay rent residing in your school dormitory. And it's not a small amount. We're talking about an average of $10,000 per year, sometimes even more. If you want to save money, study in your local school or in your home state or province at the very least. Now let's talk about option 2, schools that are not in your home state or province but still in the same country. Well, generally speaking, studying in your home country will often be cheaper than say studying abroad. Depending on the schools, you may be paying much more than someone who is the resident of the same state or province as the school. I've seen 50% to even doubling the tuition you will have to pay for not being in the home state. Some schools do offer financial assistance for students who are not from the home state, so you definitely need to do some research with your prospective school. So far, it sounds like a bad idea to study in a non-home state college, but it does have its perks. For one, you are still in your own country, so it wouldn't be too foreign to you when it comes to normal day-to-day living. You still have your bank accounts and even your car if you decide to drive it all the way to your school. So studying in a school that is not from your home state is what I consider the middle ground. And I think you know what the third option is. Yes, I'm talking about studying abroad in a foreign country. This is huge. You're going to experience a complete change in your life for the first time. If you can afford it, I strongly recommend you to study abroad. You get to learn so much more than what your school has to offer. You get to experience living in a completely different cultural setting, and you may end up speaking another language upon your graduation. But of course, the only downside is the high tuition cost. Generally speaking, foreign students often pay a lot more than a local student, and you also have to pay extra to stay in the school dormitory, at least during the very first year. But the second year onwards, you can just find another cheaper place to move to if you like. Also, as a foreign student, your ability to work part-time is limited, sometimes even restricted. Just want to briefly touch on this. But of course, there are actually colleges and universities that offer free tuition, even to international students, say Norway and Germany, among many others. So do your research and find out which countries offer free to low-cost programs which offer your major of interest. And who knows, you may even decide to settle down in that country after graduation. So if you do decide to study abroad, consider the future potential too. It is common for employers to hire fresh grads from local universities, as there are often programs in place to organize networking events between local employers and students. And some of them can even assist you in getting the right working documents. So this is something you should definitely consider. And if you already have plans to move to another country, consider studying college or university in that country. Alright, so let me just have a quick recap on what we have touched on so far. Number 1, have a good estimation of what your college entrance exam score would be like, so that it gives you an idea of which programs and schools you may be able to get into. Number 2, review your financial situation. Be realistic here, and try not to plan to get too much student loan. Number 3, decide if you want to study locally, in your home country, or abroad. If your life situation allows you to, I strongly recommend you to go study abroad. It just gives you so much more life experiences overall. With all these 3 considerations, now you should start compiling your list of schools which you would like to give it a shot at. Now there are 2 more minor considerations which may affect your decision. That is, are you considering studying in a postgraduate school? You do not have to decide now. In fact, it is still quite early to make such a decision. But if you're the kind of person who plans way ahead and definitely want to get into a postgraduate program, then consider the fact that the school you choose now may also end up being the one where you do your postgraduate education. Simply because during your 3 to 4 year program, you will encounter professors who may end up becoming your supervisor professor for your postgraduate work. Although it is not a bad idea to get into a completely different school for graduate program, it is definitely something you should keep in mind. Another consideration for you is highly relevant to this year 2020, as many schools have already announced that many of their programs will be conducting courses using online format for this coming school year. So that means most likely you will be staying home anyway, and if that is the case, then you might as well start your program in your local school, because you would most likely pay the least this way. And along the way, you may want to change your school after the first year and bring all your finished credits to the school that you really want to get into. One of the reasons why certain schools cost so much more, such as those in the Ivy League, is because of the networking opportunities you are provided to get to meet with big companies. But if all of your courses are offered online, then most likely you won't be benefiting much from the networking opportunity. Not to mention, you're not going to make that many friends neither, which is a great way to do networking itself, so keep this in mind. With everything I've said, I hope you are able to come up with your list of schools that fit your criteria. Start with a broad spectrum of schools and slowly narrow it down with everything mentioned in this video. And once you are done with that list, it's time to pick some of them to visit physically. Try to get a feel of the vibe of these schools, see what's around in that town or city. Well, I hope all this gave you great insights to helping you find your dream college and university. This is just the first step into adulthood. And tell me in the comment section below which school would you like to go to and why. And if you find this video helpful, feel free to click on the like button and subscribe to this channel, as this will really help my channel to grow and allow me to make more videos such as this one in the future. Alright, thanks for watching till the very end, and peace out.